Today we are driving down the very long dirt road to get to the Lake State Forest Campground. The Lake State Forest Campground is technically located in Thompsonville, but it's quite a ways away from the town. You have a pretty dated State Forest Campground sign, and then once you actually get there, you have your typical billboard and garbage dumpster outside the campground. The campground billboard has several postings stating that you are not allowed to pre-register and that you are not allowed to go online and register, and that there is walk-ins only. And then on the DNR website, it also has a big bold statement saying that no pre-registration is allowed. So maybe at one time you could, but not now. The sites themselves are not huge, but they're plenty big enough for a pop-up camper, small trailer, or a tent. However, there were several very large rigs in there, but they had trouble maneuvering their vehicles just down the road. So there is a nice little gazebo for a picnic or a event. There is hand pump water. And then as you go just past the gazebo, there is a small foot trail that leads down to the river. I believe this is the Bestie River coming out of Grass Lake, and the campground itself is on the overflow of the lake, not technically on the lake. As I walked up here, there was a really cute little dog, and I couldn't help it. I had to go up and pet the dog, and found a guy down there fishing, and he was catching bass and bluegill right here. So there's good fishing opportunity at the lake and the river. If you go up into the campground a little bit farther, you come to a section of sites that is down by the boat ramp. And I'll say this for this area, and it might not be this way all the time, but this was more of a rowdy, I don't want to say party area, but it was definitely a rowdy area. You could hear the commotion going on into the evening. So I camped farther up into the campground away from the water so I could have a little bit of a quieter time. There are 15 sites here. They are $20 a piece, and you feel really remote. You're tucked into the woods nice, not any road noise or anything like that. So it's a nice little campground to get away. But the people that were here, like I said, were pretty loud. So the boat launch itself is not paved. It's sand and gravel. Keep that in mind if you're backing a vehicle in, but if you're just launching a kayak or canoe, then you are plenty fine to launch right here. There's small off to the side of the road parking for boats, trailers, and your vehicles if you just want to day fish. Not a ton of space there. Some sites had brand new picnic tables, which surprised me, and some sites did not. The site that I stayed at did not have a brand new picnic table, but the picnic table there was in plenty good enough shape. Each site had a nice fire ring. There was very little garbage here, if any at all. Here's site number 11. A couple of outhouses through the campground that were in pretty decent shape. And then this is the campsite that I am at. I got my tent all set up back here. I'll give you a look around my campsite. I happen to have a charcoal grill here, but not every one of the sites did. Here's my tent. I got a very small fire going. I like to keep my fires as small as I can. Eating my Mountain House clearance meal. And then here's the neighboring site to me. That's a really big site, but nobody in it. As I sit here trying to eat my sweet and sour pork, I realize this is why I don't like busy campgrounds. I'm sure the camera's picking up the sound of that generator that is several campsites away. And this is the third generator to go off so far. It's driving me insane. I was so hard trying to find a isolated campground that I could stay at completely alone, and there seems to be none in the area.